Hey guys, Stu here with Easy Realty. Thought I'd give a quick hot take here on this Compass to buy Berkshire Hathaway news, which turned out to be fake news. About 10, 15, 20, all the big news articles caught this on the newswire that Compass was in talks with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, or HomeServices of America, which is the parent company, looking to purchase them from the group. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services started off as a company called Intero out of the Bay Area in California, and a guy called Gino owned that. There was a corporate business and there was a franchise business. So like Sotheby's or some of the other franchise real estate companies, they do have corporate offices. They also have the franchise offices, and those are two totally separate businesses. So I actually looked, how long ago was that? Maybe 10, no, more than that, 12 years ago-ish, at buying a Intero real estate franchise. And it seemed like a great proposition. I had the idea of doing like a lifestyle center, almost like a real estate cafe, to put into places like Santana Row, if you're familiar in the Bay Area. And so some of these other developments are retail as well as shopping, a hotel there. There's quite a few of them around. There's a new one called Olympus coming near to us in Kissimmee in Florida. That's going to be there's a hotel there, there's retail, there's living, there's shopping. So we're in the process of, we do these hyperlocal websites and set the real estate agents up as the concierge for that community. So kind of anything that's going on there. So we build out the lifestyle website with all of the stuff that's going on. If you check out like santanarow.com, that's a good example of one of these communities where there's it's a good niche to get into. Anyway, that aside, was looking at putting these kind of real estate cafes in place. Intero was a progressive company. They ended up I ended up not going forward with that, but then they ended up selling not the franchise business, but they sold the corporate business to Berkshire Hathaway, which then was renamed Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, owned by HomeServices of America, which in turn is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's investment company. So anyway, this news, I was quite shocked. But then again, with the Rocket Mortgage, Redfin thing, Rocket Mortgage just rebranded. In one of my last videos, I talked about this. Rocket Mortgage, just before the Super Bowl, rebranded their entire company, red color scheme. It really matched Redfin's. And then, of course, you don't spend $7 million a spot, per 30 seconds. And that commercial, it was the best, in my opinion, commercial of the Super Bowl. But then on the back of that, there's the news that Rocket Mortgage bought Redfin, which makes total sense, right? I mean, a lot of agents, the astute agents, they partner up with a mortgage broker, and oftentimes when somebody's searching for a property, obviously you want to make sure that the buyer is pre-qualified before you spend your time driving somebody around that doesn't have the ability or facilities to purchase whatever it is that they're looking for. So having that mortgage broker, make the initial contacts. A lot of our agents partner with our mortgage brokers in order to put together joint campaigns where they can, they're both getting paid out of the deal. And there's vested interest in working as a team there with a mortgage broker. But anyway, back onto the story of Compass buying Berkshire Hathaway. Turns out that was entirely fictional. Gino, that founded Intero Real Estate, then when Berkshire bought the company from him, he then moved over. He is now CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And he jumped immediately on this, saying there are no talks, no discussions. There never have been any discussions, and nothing to see here, kind of thing. It was just rumors that quickly spread. But we're seeing lots of mergers and acquisitions, the consolidation of these real estate firms, which kind of brings me on to where we're at today with Easy Realty. We leverage technology to bring to our agents training, support, and everything that they need to do their job remotely. So at the end of the day, that real estate cafe concept that I had is really just no different than an agent meeting in a Starbucks, or, for not something I condone, but a lot of the agents filming TikToks and all the rest of it, dancing in their clients' houses. Not my favorites. However, I do think there's certainly a ton of value in you touring every house that's vacant or available for sale, or even during the open house, and trying to market stuff or co-market stuff with the listing agent. It's certainly doing home tours and bringing information to the consumers, educating them and not selling to them, and giving them an insight into the market, really focusing on hyperlocal marketing, drilling down to that neighborhood level, and just carve out your niche as an expert in any selection of neighborhoods, and you'll build an audience of that, get to know all the homeowners. An Intero agent in Sacramento, actually, is one of his tactics is door knocking still. And East Sacramento is a neighborhood of about 1,200 homes. They switch hands every 7 years on average. So let's just say 10 for round numbers. But he does a massive percentage of business in that market just from door knocking. So out of 1,200 houses in the neighborhood, say they every 10 years, so 120 houses a year. These are $1 to $4 million homes. He's doing the bulk of the business there, and has done for 20 years, because he spends a lot of his time just door knocking and being part of the community. So these community websites, hyperlocal websites, you could check those out at dot.realty. Our in-house marketing agency, Monkey Agency, builds these for our agents. It's a good example of how you can take over a town and dominate online, but also just make yourself the concierge for some of these neighborhoods. I think that leveraging technology, especially with the whole work from home thing and the work from home technologies, the real estate office in a Class A office building isn't like a Keller Williams market center. They fee the agents to death. There's a reason that we're able to just charge our agents a $495 transaction charge. That's actually capped at $4,950. So after your 10th transactions of the year, you won't pay us a penny more. And we're able to utilize the technology to put in place training, educational materials, lead generation, all the things that an agent needs from a brick and mortar that you just don't necessarily find on a campus. Going into the office is in a lot of cases distracting. We're able to leverage the technology here at Easy Realty and bring to the agents in a focused environment, one-on-one training and hands-on and mentorship and all the other stuff, all the other services that you would expect to get at a brick and mortar, which I find after 20 years of doing real estate marketing for some of these brokerages, that doesn't necessarily bring a lot of value. The office meetings, things like that. Having one-on-one specialized educational materials to provide to your agents, that's where the value comes in. Most of the inquiries that we get on our website through the live chat is, do you guys provide free training? What kind of support do you guys provide? We're here 7 days a week supporting the agents. Live chat just a second away. It's a lot more streamlined and accessible to the support and getting answers to questions that you need when you're writing a contract already, when you can just pop up on the live chat, ask a broker a question. It's really a lot of value in that compared to the traditional brokerage model. So these news reports that are coming out, such as Compass buying Redfin, or Rocket Mortgage Compass buying Berkshire Hathaway, or Rocket Mortgage buying Redfin, the reasons for that was Rocket Mortgage is actually leveraging Redfin's technology. Redfin was started by some guys from Microsoft, Paul Allen's money behind it, and they really built Redfin don't have offices. They built the technology. Rocket Mortgage, the reasoning behind their acquisition is that they are going to save about $300 million a year by leveraging the technologies that Redfin have put in place or have available. So, that's the future. I think Compass is a great company. They have, they're technology driven, and that would be a tune-up, I think, for Berkshire Hathaway, because the brick and mortar model, I know a lot of Remax brokers that are struggling to keep the lights on in their offices because they need fees from the agents. Easy Realty here, We are not a fee-based company. We charge, enough to make it make sense, and it is a scalable model. So, with the number of agents that we have, the amount of support is not diminishing, unlike office space, where you can only, one broker can only accommodate so many agents. So, they're geographically restricted. We've taken all of the geographic limitations out of it. So somebody is available to help one of our agents within a couple of minutes, whatever you need. Anyway, check us out online, join.easy.realty. Love to know your feedback on the market. Sorry, this was a little rambling. Just, again, hot take, just trying to get my thoughts together on this, and thought I'd bring you something this Friday afternoon. That's the news.